Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of our Community Access. This week we will check out the Stoney Park update. Then we will visit with the cemetery tour in Oxford. Then we went to the Leonard to check out the Arnold School. Then we went to a new golf league with our new reporter. And also we'll have the last dog of the week for this week, all today on our Community Access. Welcome back. This is a lot of activity at the Stoney Lake Park. With that story is our reporter Terry Stiles.
The last time we saw Jeff, we were out at Seymour Lake Park looking at all the improvements that they were making there, and today we are at Stoney Lake Park. If you don't recognize the background, Jeff's going to let us know exactly what's going on here as far as improvements are concerned. Hi Jeff again.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, and I love being out here. I love where you work.
I know, I do too.
You have a great job.
I do.
What's going on back there?
As you can see, we've got started on the Stoney Lake project. We're going to start up front on all our ADA improvements. The parking lots are going to be redone, the road going out, the boat launch. We've got the pavilions done. As you can see, you can pan over and look at the roofs on the pavilions. Those are all done. So this is an official start of what we're going to get done in this park this year.
So you mentioned ADA improvements. That entails what?
It entails sidewalks to every pavilion so people can get from the parking lot to a pavilion and then back to a bathroom, to the playgrounds. It's going to cover everything up top here. That way they'll have full accessibility to everything in the park.
And so where do we stand as far as playground equipment is concerned? That's ADA compliant, or does it have to be? Or
it does, and it's ADA compliant for the most part. I mean, some stuff is really hard to do, but for the most part it is ADA compliant.
And then you mentioned the boat docks. Are they also ADA
Yes,
accessible?
they are. Yep. The beach is ADA accessible. The boat launch is ADA accessible. So everything should be as good as we can get it in this park.
This is one of my favorite places in the park. It's always been a fun place to be because there's so much activity as far as parents and kids are concerned.
Yep.
But it's really nice, Jeff, to see that anybody can get up here now.
Yeah, what you can see is an intricate system of paths now where they can, somebody with disabilities can wheel up and they can get to every pavilion, they can get to every playground now, they can get to the restroom facilities with ease. Right. It's going to be really nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
Let's talk about the funding on this. Where did that funding come from?
That funding all came from the millage. It was passed last year.
Fabulous.
So this is just one of the projects that's going on in all 4 of our parks. So there's 4 different areas that we've been concentrating on getting things done. So this is just one of them, but this is all part of the big master plan that we have to get things where they need to be.
And this is a huge concentration right here, just getting these sidewalks in and giving everybody access to a jewel in our community. This lake has just always been, when we were walking up here, I'm reliving memories from when I was 5 to 10 years old, and the amount of fun that we had here, and we certainly didn't have all these amenities.
Yeah, and you look at these massive oak trees in here, it's just nice and shady. It's cool today, but on a hot day it's really nice in here.
Right,
it's really nice.
And they've been maintained too. It's not like you're just doing the mechanics of the park. It's all the down near the boat path down there, that's been cleared out and it's open for everybody in these trees. You don't have to worry when you're sitting under these trees. I know they've been maintained.
We do a lot of tree maintenance, try to keep up on it, you know, with everything else that goes on too, you know. So yeah, it's part of it. It's all part of it. And it's a lot of the stuff you don't notice.
Right.
Like you just mentioned,
right.
You know, it's the way it is.
You just come out here and you're comfortable, and and I know, and we all know now. Thank you for doing this tour with us. And
no problem.
We're not done. We're going to go to Powell Lake soon, right? You're going to do.
We're not sure if we're going to start this year. But we still have the ball field fences torn out as we saw last week, and those are going back up as we speak.
So we'll be back out there in a couple weeks.
We'll be back out there, yeah. Yep.
All right. Well,
and
thank
we'll see
you.
the progress.
Thank you so much for all the work that everybody does. And let's talk about Birmingham seal coating too before we're done.
Yeah, these guys have been great. They have saved the taxpayers of Oxford thousands of dollars, literally, and I'm not kidding, because they come in here with their ideas on how to say, hey, if we did it this way, we could save you some money, and we're all about that.
And they know what they're doing. Two boys from Oxford, I have to say, Mark and Ryan Austin.
Yep.
And I'm really proud that they've done such good work in this community, and they're going to keep on with you guys.
And it's good to hire local people. Like you said, it's just great for everybody when we do that.
Right. Well, thank you so much, and we're going to see you again
You
soon.
will. I guarantee it.
After Terry visited with the Stoney Lake Park, Terry went to the Oxford Cemetery to visit with Jem Latola to visit about the cemetery tour. Again, it's Terry.
So Bill, this is Jem Latola walking through the cemetery, and we're going to have a chat about the big event that's coming up in October. And you've put the whole thing together, right? The cemetery tour.
Well, and I'm getting a lot of help now too. That makes a big difference.
Finally, huh?
Yeah. But it's been a lot of fun. It's been real interesting. The whole thing. It's kind of a new experience. So.
Well, you've had a lot of interest. You know, people are talking to me about it, going, when is this going to happen? And have you done it before? And did we miss it? I hope we didn't miss it. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Jim putting together a cemetery tour, and it's of this particular cemetery, the Oxford Township Cemetery. And what made you do this?
Well, I had an interest in history, and I always have, and I kind of liked this cemetery. I thought it was interesting, and my original plan was that I would do some research about the cemetery and find maybe half a dozen or a dozen good stories, and I would do like a map. It would be a self-guided tour of the cemetery, and somebody could come out and they could just walk around at their own leisure, and they could go from site to site and hear a couple good stories and enjoy just kind of the cemetery itself. Well, as I started getting into it, I kept finding more and more good stories, and I realized that if I put it on a map, that it just wasn't going to all fit on a map.
Right.
And so the original idea was that I would put it together and I would give it to the Historical Society for a fundraising mechanism. So it's kind of evolved now. It's going to be a tour with people participating and doing the parts of the several individuals in kind of a live action, kind of almost a play in the cemetery.
Yeah. So you're focusing on 9 families this year?
Eight actually. Yeah, 8 actually.
8 families.
Yeah. But one is in 2 parts. The one family, the Hoveys are both on this end of the old burying ground and the other end, so it's kind of connected to the two.
So we're doing Hoveys and names that people are familiar with. Van Wagner's, correct?
Right,
Hoveys.
and you'll recognize a lot of street names. You know, Hovey, Powell's, Burdick, Hudson. So there's, a lot of names that go back a long time in Oxford history.
And these are volunteers that are going to be doing this. Some of
They
us
are
actors. Right?
They are, we're all volunteers. I don't know if any of us that are actors or actresses.
It's really fun. I think it's really a fun experience, and the fundraising that we're doing this for is for the North Oakland Historical Society, right?
And the museum, yeah.
And the museum.
Right.
Okay, so let's reiterate. It will be October
15th.
And what time, and how do people find out about it? Who do they contact? And
the tours will be starting at 1 o'clock, and they'll be every half hour. The number of persons in each tour is limited. The last tour is scheduled for 3 o'clock, so there'll be a total of 5 tours of about 14 people each if we fill them. And that's it. So they are limited. It's going to be on a first-come, first-served basis.
Okay.
They can go to the museum during regular business hours on Thursday and Saturday from 1 to 4 to purchase the tickets.
Okay.
Or special events. The museum usually opens on special events also.
Sure. And that's come rain or shine, right?
It's going to be rain or shine.
Or snow.
Well, yeah, we hope not snow.
We don't need this
Well,
snow.
there's so many pieces to put together to try and do a rain date would be very difficult because people are, the volunteers are scheduling their own schedule around that 15th date. And so to try and do a rain date would be just about impossible. So it's going to be rain or shine.
And so they're not going to have to wander all through the cemetery. I know this is a big cemetery. You're pretty well focusing on the oldest part of the cemetery first. And I said first, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, hopefully if things work out, there'll be more to come. But this tour will be primarily in the old burying grounds. Some of the earliest pioneers in the township, of course, are buried there. So it'll be primarily there. The tour will actually start at the museum. There will be a shuttle bus because of parking problems here in the cemetery. There will be a shuttle bus here. When they arrive in the cemetery, there will be a guide to take them from site to site, and then each person will tell the story of the family they're representing.
So it should be about an hour tour for them.
Well, I'm thinking by the time you walk in allowing 5 minutes per person, that is probably going to be about an hour, maybe a little bit over.
So 1 hour out of your day to learn about the history of the people that form this community, and you're also helping the museum and the historical society. Any telephone number they could contact, or just go into the museum? Or?
They can go into the museum, and if they go to the website, there's a telephone number there also.
Okay, and we'll put the website on the bottom
or on
of the
Facebook.
screen. And let me thank you for doing this. I know you put a lot of work into it. You should see the scripts. Some of us are intimidated by that, but you did a great job doing the history and the research. And
well, I do the research and I write it down, and then my wife goes through and makes it so it's sensible.
Well, thank her for us
Okay.
too. Well, thank you, and we'll see you at the tour.
All right.
Back to you, Bill.
We've seen a lot of views on Facebook checking out the new tour. Good job. The next story started about 5 or 6 years ago when Bruce Pearson and some folks from Addison Township decided to move the old Arnold School from Lakeville Road to the watershed in Leonard. Now, after some great reconditioning, the school is ready to have an open house. With that story, once again, is Terry.
Hi, Bill. We're out at Addison Township, and I'm with Jamie Martell. We originally came out to the Township building to talk to Jamie about her supervisorship, deputyship, and we found out she's out at the schoolhouse, the Arnold School House. They're fixing it up, and they're getting ready for an open house. How'd you get this job? It looks like a fun one.
It is a fun job. Bruce asked me if it would be something I'd be interested in taking on, and it's been quite the fun task to get everything in order and learn the history of the schoolhouse as I'm doing it.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. You can see the history all around the place. So what about all these items that are out here? Where did they come from?
Most of these items were original to the original schoolhouse. When they demoed it, they took all these items out of the schoolhouse. There was stuff that they dug up, artifacts in an artifact dig that they did. Some of the stuff was donated by people in the community that attended the schoolhouse or held on to it for whatever reason.
So we're having an open house here, and it looks like you're busy working, getting it put together. When's the open house?
The open house is October 22nd. It's from 12 to 3. It's open to all the public. We'll have lunch. We'll have entertainment for all ages. It should be a good time.
Now, is this something that people will be able to come and see throughout the year, or how do people get in and see the schoolhouse once we have the open house?
The schoolhouse will be locked up at all times, but if there's ever a reason that you want to bring like field trips or Boy Scout troops could come in, we will always be willing to open it up and, you know, let people come in and use it for special events.
That's what I was going to ask, and that would be for anybody in the Oxford School District or even Lake Orion, et cetera, right?
Yep.
And they get in touch with the Addison Township building, somebody there?
They can contact me at the township here in Addison. They could also contact the clerk's office. Just call up there and we'll arrange it for you.
And so let's explain where we're at.
We're at the Watershed Preserve Park, which is an Addison Township park that is open to the public as well. We have camping here that you can come in and register if you want. I believe it's $10 a night. You just have to register with us. Rustic camping. We've got a cabin over on the west side of the lake that Boy Scouts use for overnights. We've got lots of trails, and the nature's all been marked for, so you know what's out there.
Now, is that all year long in the winter as well? People that like to go hiking in the woods in the wintertime? Why do they
Yeah,
want
you
to
can hike out there anytime. I don't know if you'd want to camp out there in the wintertime, but,
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a nice park.
Let's talk about you a little bit, how you like your job.
I love it. It's a great opportunity that I received from Bruce. Yeah.
And so what's the hardest part about what you're learning, or what are you learning and what's exciting to you?
What am I learning? Well, I'm learning how the township works. That's definitely a big thing. Just getting to know more people. I already knew a lot of people in the township, but learning more faces, that's nice. Just, it's nice to see how everything comes together in our government here in this small town, and what a tight-knit community it is, and how everyone works together. It's great.
You're not a new face in this community,
No,
are
I've been
you?
here for 35 years.
You're part of the well-known family in this
Yes.
community.
Yes.
Who is it?
Malia's. I am the granddaughter of the Malia family. Yep.
Well, I'm sure the community has come in to welcome you, but I want to say, if you haven't, come in and say hi to Jamie. She's working hard already. Everybody's nose to the grindstone here. And again, the open house is when?
October 22nd. It's a Sunday from 12 to 3.
And are you guys looking for donations or anything for this?
I mean, if anyone has anything that they think would contribute to the originality of the schoolhouse, we're always willing to accept any donations.
You heard her. They can always use help out here. They can always use donations. And please come out and have a look. It's absolutely beautiful out here. I'm comfortable already. I feel like I want to sit down and start reading. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, Bill, I can't leave this schoolhouse without talking to Gina Malia. Everybody knows this face. Does this look familiar to you in here?
It looks familiar. I was here when some of the kids were going to school here. Bob Godkin is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And he was the driving force probably behind this schoolhouse being brought up here. And I have to give him a bunch of kudos for this. Yeah, I've only been out here for about 60 some odd years, but my wife, and she was born here, and her mother was born here, and now my kids are all here, so, I can't ask for any more.
That's right. You have a long history in this community. And aren't you proud that the community has chosen to preserve this building?
I sure am. This here schoolhouse is an icon, I think, and to preserve it and show the children what it used to be like in schools is for everyone to know. Everyone should know what it looks like. So I hope everybody comes out here and contributes or comes in, looks at it, and see what it used to be like in the olden days.
And we'll see you out here at the open house?
Oh, yes, you will.
Well, there are a lot of hands laid on this building, Bill, so I'm going to encourage everybody to come out at the open house and say hi to everybody that's out here that's worked so hard to preserve this building. And I, for one, want to say for the community, thank you for doing that. And back to you, Bill.
What a great story. Good job, Terry. Next up is our first story with the Oxford ladies golf team. With the story is our bright new reporter, Rachel Baker. Rachel?
Hi, I'm Rachel Baker, and I'm here with the Oxford High School's women's golf coach, Miss Gretchen Gabler. I'd like to ask, what are your plans for success this year versus last year? How would you like to improve?
I'd like to improve by placing higher in matches, and we can do that when the girls work harder individually.
All right, that leads to my next question. What's your philosophy on coaching?
My philosophy on coaching is every expert was once a beginner. So we start and take all girls of all golf levels and work with them to teach them etiquette and the rules of golf so they have a sport they can participate in for their entire life.
What makes your team unique?
My team is unique because they are they come from a variety of different areas. We have girls who are also on the ski team, who are bowling, tennis, and then we have a lot of academic girls too, who are active in NHS and HOSA.
And what is your philosophy on discipline? How do you teach the girls dedication to their team in addition to all their other extracurricular activities?
You know, that's really key to having a successful team. I just believe that if you expect their behavior, that's what you're going to get. I expect them to follow the rules that the team and I set.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gabler.
Thanks. It was good. Thank you for coming out. Enjoy the match.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks.
That was all from the Metamora Golf Club interview with Miss Gretchen Gabler. Back to you, Bill.
Good job, Rachel. Next up is our dog of the week from the Canine Rescue League.
Hi, you're with Lori Stevenson today, and this is my little girl Holly, and we're at Canine Stray Rescue League. Holly is up for adoption. She came out of Bay City Animal Control. She's 10 years old. She lived with an older woman that had a stroke and ended up in a home. So Holly needs a quieter home. She's not going to do good with little kids. She's very sweet. We got some stitches because she had some lumps on her that we removed because they looked a little suspicious, but they came back benign, so everything's good. She doesn't hear the greatest, but she's very loving and she loves to play. She loves her toys. She likes to go for walks. She's still very active for a 10-year-old dog. Don't let 10 years old deter you. She's absolutely wonderful little girl. She's up for adoption now. She's up to date on all of her vetting, current on shots, heartworm preventative, heartworm testing. She's spay. And her adoption fee is the senior fee, $125 cash, $135 debit or credit card. And you can find our application in our business hours online, or I can let you know our business hours are Monday, Thursday, and Sunday 1 to 4, Friday 2 to 5, Saturday 11 to 4. I'm sorry, Saturday we just switched to 12 to 4 now. And we also have adoption events at the Petco in Auburn Hills across from Great Lakes Mall on Baldwin Road on the first and third Saturday of every month. We're there from 12 to 4. And we have adoption events at Harvest Time Pet Stuff right here in Oxford at Drainer and M24. And we're there from 12 to 3. On the first and third Saturday of every month. Come on out and visit us. We're desperately in need of foster homes right now. We've got a lot of dogs with medical issues that it would be so nice, even like her, it would be so much nicer to have her in a foster home instead of a facility. No matter how nice we are here, it's still not a home. And yeah, desperate need of foster homes. If you have it in your heart to take a dog into your home and find a family for it, just get a hold of us and we'll send you through orientation and we'll get you set up. Come meet Holly. Holly's a really great dog, and if you have a older person in your family that's looking for a companion, she'd be a wonderful little snuggle bug. Okay, let's go get Patsy and Loretta. Now these two, I guess it's going to be senior dog day here. And this is Loretta, and this is Patsy. The girls came to us from Bay County Animal Shelter. Their person passed away, and the family didn't want the dogs, so they turned them in. So I couldn't leave these little old girls in animal control. I knew we could find a home for them. Loretta they're both seniors. Loretta had an inguinal hernia when she first got here, but that's been repaired, and she's doing really good. She's all healed up from that surgery now. She's ready to find a home. This one's Loretta, the bigger one, and this is Patsy. They both came out of the same home, but they're not really bonded, so I think they could both go to different homes. They don't need to go to the same home. As you can see, they're both very loving. Yes, they're very sweet girls. They were somebody's babies. They're indoor dogs. They're not kennel-kept beagles. They're up to date on all their vetting, heartworm tests, ready to find homes. They'd love to go with somebody that will take them for walks during the day, and they'll sit on the couch and eat snacks and watch your favorite program with you at night if that's what you want to do. They're great, great dogs. And if you're ever looking for something to do and have thought about volunteering for an organization, Canine's a wonderful organization. I've been here since 2003. I foster dogs. I come and walk dogs, clean kennels, do laundry. It's just a great network of people, and we are looking for new volunteers. We have orientations once a month, and you fill out the paperwork, sign up for the orientation, and come on in, and whatever you feel comfortable with doing. You know, we do have certain needs that need to be filled right now, but it's what you feel comfortable with, what your talents are. I know that we could make the best out of your talents, and these guys will repay you with so much love. It's the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. Fostering dogs that have ended up at shelters. It's just, once I walked into an animal shelter and seen dogs being euthanized just because they got lost, it changed my life, and these guys have changed my life, and I know they could change your life too. It's the most rewarding thing that I've ever done. So come on out and visit us and get to know some of our dogs, and if you're looking for something to do, come volunteer with us. We'd love to have you.
There you go, another great dog from the Canine Rescue League. Check up at 2120 Metamora Road, just a mile north of Myers. Okay? Well, that's all the time for this week, and we hope you enjoyed your program. So for our reporter and editor, Terry Stiles, I am Bill Service, and you have a great, great week.
Watching OCTV.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2.
You're watching OCTV.
Perfect.
Don't move. Oh God, I'm out of here.
Hidden gems lie all around the Leonard area. You may drive past them and not realize the beauty they hold. This is the Leonard Nature Park, located just outside of downtown. Trails surround the area, and there are plenty of places to stop and relax with family or friends. This is just a small part of Leonard, Michigan, seen only on OC TV.
Marine Corporal Patrick Gallagher came here from Ireland. Serving his new country was what he wanted to do. It was the Vietnam War. He was there. Funny thing about war, protecting your buddies becomes number one. On an early July morning of 1966, in a foxhole near Canlow, in came an enemy grenade. Gallagher quickly kicked it out, and it exploded. Another came in. Gallagher threw himself over it to protect his buddies. It didn't go off. He quickly threw it out. It exploded. He won the Navy Cross, and later gave his life in that war. There's a new missile destroyer coming along. It should be called the Patrick Gallagher. With your help, it could be. Go online to Patrick Gallagher USMC petition to lend your support.
Welcome to American Legion in Oxford for the best fish on Fridays. That's right, from noon to 8:30. You can get the best walleye in Michigan. You can get walleye, baked cod, chicken strips, baked potatoes, and more. On the hall side of the Legion, oh, hello there, friends. You can have 12 friends on a table, any one of the best military museums in Michigan. And the dining side, oh, hello again. More comfortable with many 4-seat tables and a couple of 5-seaters. Now on Friday we usually have about 400 to 500 best friends for our fish. Carry-out? You bet. We have 50 to 60 carry-outs at the post. We have some young fins with the birthdays and some of our best seniors at the post. Oh yeah, waitresses, they go like a track waitress to get your food. If you have never enjoyed our secret's famous walleye at the Legion, come on in every Friday from noon to 8:30 at the American Legion Post 108 on 130 East Rainer Road, Oxford.